Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors, including real fishing and hunting situations involving wildlife. We do our best each week to bring you tasteful content, but viewer discretion is advised. Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
On this week's episode, we're off to Millville to preview the Outdoorsman's Marketplace coming your way in January. We're on the hunt for Sika deer at the Riverside Lodge. Scorchy's Corner takes us to Easton for a bit of curling. And we'll warm up the holiday vocal cords with some caroling on the Circle in Georgetown. Outdoors Delmarva starts right now. Welcome to Outdoors Delmarva, the show dedicated to a commitment of conservation and to the community that makes Delmarva's outdoors such a hidden gem here in the Mid-Atlantic. My name is Jason Lee, and I got to tell you that the Grinch, I think he got a bad rap, because spending the holidays in peace and quiet with your dog sounds like a perfect Christmas to me.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Jason Lee.
It's hard to believe that 2023 is only a few short weeks away, but that also means that the 2023 Millville Volunteer Fire Company's Outdoorsman's Marketplace is also only a few weeks away.
This will be our third year. We've had a couple of hiatuses due to, COVID and everything else going on, so we're back after 2 years. It's $5 to get in, which is a donation to the fire hall. We have vendors, good vendors. We have food. We're gonna have a gun auction or a raffle. You come in and get, you'll have 52 playing cards. You purchase a card, 52 chances to win a gun. There'll be many of those. They're being donated by hawkers. We have, like I said, a bunch of vendors. We have tackle companies coming. Hopefully a couple of outfitters. I have a couple of people that are debuting a new product, one of which has a name that you can't say on television.
All right.
So you're gonna have to come find out what that one's about. And our gun raffle is gonna be run by hawkers. They're also gonna donate some food. There'll be food here. You'll be able to get breakfast, lunch, hang out all afternoon, spend some money, buy a lot of good stuff from vendors. So everybody will come in here, and then you'll have the option to get down that way to get into the main engine room, but we usually have everybody come through here. This is the gym rec room. There'll be tables lined all along here, and all the door prizes and raffle prizes will be in here, except the guns. The guns are done in there live. Come on in. And then people walk from there to here, do all their raffle things on the tables. Then they come into the meeting room. Delaware Tactical will be set up in here with their display. And then you can walk out that door, which lead into the hallway, which goes right into the engine room. Both of these doors will be open like this, and everybody will be able to just walk right in. And this whole place will be full of vendors and food.
The funds originally were going towards our new building expansion, which is now completed. All the funds are still going towards the building. We have a capital campaign set up that the funds go towards our buildings. It goes towards new apparatus, new ambulances, new air packs, major cost expenses to the fire department. So all these funds go into a separate account that's used for that purpose.
How long have you been with the fire company?
I've been with the fire department for 20 years.
For 20 years, so
Yes.
You've seen a lot of changes.
Oh yes, most definitely.
What would you say is probably the single best change that you have seen come through in your 20 years?
The best change is just the amount of volunteers that we've had over the years. Now volunteerism's slightly going down. We're actually a combination department now with paid staff and volunteers, but the area is constantly growing. If you talk to any fire department throughout the state, even the country, a lot of them are hurting on volunteerism to help out. We see a steady decline in volunteerism, so we're trying to get out and do new things. Hopefully we draw more interest. We've been going to schools. There's a GEMS program that's being done by Sussex County. That's really, really good for younger people that have a desire to be in the fire service someday. we're just doing different things. Hopefully somebody comes here and sees what we're doing with this Outdoors Expo and wants to join. I mean, our doors are always open for volunteers.
It's good for everybody coming here. It helps support the community, helps support the fire hall. And a lot of businesses get to do business in the winter when we don't normally do business. A nice little boost of, cash and whatnot for a lot of these vendors.
Mark it on your calendar, January 7th from 7 to 3 at the Millville Volunteer Fire Company. And be sure to get there early and stop by the Outdoors Delmarva booth because we want to see you, and we're going to be right there next to the food. Still to come, we go curling in Easton with Scorchy Taws, but up next, we head for Hooper's Island in search of Sika deer. Outdoors Delmarva presented by Gateway Subaru. We'll be right back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. It was early, it was cold, it was wet, but the trip to the Riverside Lodge on Hooper's Island was well worth it.
This is the best part of Maryland, I believe. I think this is the coolest spot in Maryland. My wife and I, we started coming to Hooper's Island in 2007, so we're not from here. We migrated in. We were here on a weekend basis till 2015. The opportunity came up to buy the Hooper's Island Gun Club in 2015. So we bought it, and we always said if we could find a way to keep the lights on here, we would do that. So we quit our real jobs. And after we purchased this, we're here full time now. And it was previously a private gun club, just for friends and family of the previous owners. And when we bought it, we decided we were going to open up to the public, and we do a little bit of everything now. We try to maintain what the previous owners had going here. It's probably one of the very few throwbacks to the original kind of gun club. From back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s. We really take very little credit for what we do here. We're just very proud of it. We're just trying to carry on that tradition, which I just don't feel like you see this much anymore. When we bought this property in 2015, there were very few deer, whitetail or Sika deer on the property. So this year we decided, because we've spent so much money feeding over the last 7 years, and we feel like we're getting enough of a population to put a little bit of pressure on, we decided to do a drawing to do a hunt. And as crazy as it is, of all the people that bought the tickets for the drawing, we pulled Dave's number. So that's how Dave wound up here. And we really, there were so many people that we knew, clients that come to hunt, fish, or whatever, that bought those tickets. And there was a lot of people. I mean, everybody on there, I would love to have had them come hunt with us. But really the one that was most persistent, and I feel like probably deserved it more than anybody, was probably Dave. So the good Lord was, works in mysterious ways.
First time I hunted down here was in 2017, from the Lehigh Valley up in Pennsylvania. It's a fantastic trip. It's a fantastic opportunity. The hospitality, the camaraderie is top notch. The food is tremendous. It's a fabulous place. The Sika deer hunting is so limited within Dorchester County or Delmarva Peninsula that it's extremely tough to find a place to go, and the hospitality is phenomenal. If it was up to me, it would be a yearly thing, but we'll see what happens. But it's definitely a fun time. My brother and sister-in-law came down with me to enjoy the hospitality and the food, and so it's been a great experience.
We do an all-inclusive package where you can come and stay. We do all the meals. The meals are prepared in the dining room. It's a really cool dining room. The meals are kind of over the top. It's a candlelit meal. We do the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything's included. We do that for the fishing trips. We do that for the crabbing trips. The waterfowl hunts. We have families that just come and spend a few days here with us. We have a website. It's Riverside Lodge MD at gmail.com, or we have the phone number is 410 658-4868, or we're on Facebook. So we usually try to keep some stuff active on Facebook so you have an idea what you're looking for. And that's Riverside Lodge on Hoper's Island. It is very remote. We're not really that far from everything, but when you get here, you just feel like you're a long way from it all.
We'll be going back to the Riverside Lodge as often as possible, and if you've never been there, I can't recommend it enough. Still to come, we'll fa-la-la-la-la our way to Georgetown for the annual Caroling on the Circle. But up next, we'll head back to Scorchy's Corner to get our curling on in Easton. Outdoors Delmarva returns right after this.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. Now, for my money, there's no better winter sport than curling. So let's get our brushes on as we head back to Scorchy's Corner.
Honoring the life and legacy of Scorchy Taws, thanks to Shorts Marine in Long Neck, Delaware. Shorts Marine, everything but the water.
After a 5 years absence, we returned to Talbot Community Center in Easton to see how the curlers were doing. In case you've forgotten, or for that matter didn't even know, the only curling rink in the state of Maryland is right here. And again, just in case you're wondering, what in the world is curling? Our simplest explanation would be, it's a lot like shuffleboard, only it's played on ice and is a team sport, 4 to a side. It is truly a grand old game, having originated in Scotland in the mid-1700s. And on this day, some of the grand old players from this area were displaying their skills and extolling their sport.
Well, it's something you can do when you're this stage.
What stage is that?
Over 50.
The sport, in fact, knows no age bounds. From 9 to 90, you can find players delivering those 40-pound rocks wherever there's a rink.
Coach last year was over 80 and he had had a stroke, so it's a sport that you can keep doing indefinitely as long as you're willing to get out and slide around.
This was curling day for senior citizens at the Easton Rink. They are not in the same class as curling club team members with refined skills, and don't pretend to be. They are simply enjoying a novel way of combining exercise on ice with camaraderie and enjoying every minute of it. The newest member of the group puts the whole thing in perspective.
Well, I just retired here last summer, and since I can't sail my boat, what better sport can you have than curling in the wintertime? Nice people, I have a happy hour. What more could you ask for?
We'd say that just about covers it. Scorchy Taws wandering our Delmarvelous land for WBOC News.
Remembering Scorchy Taws is presented by Shorts Marine, online at shortsmarine.com.
Did you know Sika deer originate mostly from Japan, Taiwan, and other East Asian countries? Sika were introduced to Maryland in the early 1900s when Clement Henry released a half a dozen of them on James Island. The elk cousin gets its name from shika, the Japanese word for deer. Now you do.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. I don't think that there's another time of year where more people sing, and for good reason. And the best part of singing this time of year is that there's always someone real close to help you along. In the heart of Sussex County, history and tradition thrive. And each Christmas season, goodwill towards all is belted out into the chilly December air with caroling on the circle.
Merry Christmas! But yeah, y'all better turn around and look this way. Feliz Navidad as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to start this evening off with the 39th annual Caroling on the Circle with Lyra Marchesi.
My name's Todd Lawson. I'm the County Administrator. I want to welcome you to the 39th Annual Caroling on the Circle. Thanks so much for coming out tonight. It's a great event. We're here to raise canned goods and food goods for the less fortunate in our community and get in the holiday spirit. So we're going to start the singing right away. To lead us tonight, a man that needs no introduction because he wears a big hat, Mr. Jimmy Hoffa. Thank you, Jimmy, for being here tonight.
It is my pleasure, and thank you guys for being here tonight, too. The 39th Annual Caroling on the Circle. We've got a lot to tell you about tonight, which includes your donations, as Mike was saying, to help others have a very Merry Christmas that they might not otherwise have without you. But you know what? I'm not going to blabber along here. I'm going to make sure that you got your program. The reason this is very important is because the words to tonight's Christmas carols are in the program. Now, you can pick them up over here at the table. I think we've got another location over there as well. Be sure to get your programs because you are part of the caroling on the Circle.
And the children stay and laugh and play just the same as you and me. Dumpity dum dum, look at the frosty go. Dumpity dum dum, over the hills of snow.
Let's sing some more Christmas carols with Kevin Short and Ed Shockley.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And still no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of popping, and our bugs are born from hopping. The lights are trying to way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Now, I'm sure that most of you that work in retail are just about ready to pack up the Christmas tunes. But as Buddy the Elf said, there's no better way to spread Christmas cheer than singing loud for all to hear. Coming up after the break, we'll wrap up the show with your latest batch of viewer photos. Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. We'll be right back.
Happy holidays from all of us at Outdoors Delmarva. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. It's time to flip through the photo album and take a look at your latest photos, thanks to our friends at North Bay Marina. 13-year-old Cheyenne Cantwell of Parsonsburg, seen here with her dad, harvested this good-looking spike buck. Her cousin Haley Cantwell got a buck of her own. And the Cantwell family bond is indeed a strong one. Allison Staples of Powellville harvested her first trophy buck just 7 minutes into archery season's opening day. 8-year-old Kinsley Music of Earlville, Maryland harvested this doe. Way to represent Cecil County, Kinsley. 11-year-old Trevor Howard from Westover, Maryland harvested this huge 10-pointer. And his older brother Shane harvested a big doe of his own. Well done, Howard boys. Kenny Beatty of Hebron harvested this impressive 9-pointer. You really cleaned up there, Kenny. 7-year-old Levi Townsend of Pittsville got back on the show with a piebald. That's 2 deer in less than a month for young Master Levi. And Pittsville is well represented as Gary Peak Jr. shows off the 7-pointer he harvested, pictured here with his daughter Malin.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Well, that's our show for this week. Keep sending in those pictures by emailing outdoors@wboc.com. And just remember, they don't have to be all hunting and fishing pictures. If it's outdoors and it's Delmarva, we want to see it. Stay up to date with everything that we have going on here in the show by liking and following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget about YouTube, because that's where all of our previously aired episodes can be found. We hope to see you right back here next week for another great episode. But until then, we hope to see you outdoors, Delmarva.
You've been watching Outdoors Delmarva, which is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And sponsored by Shorts Marine, everything but the water. Happy holidays from all of us at Outdoors Delmarva.